Hello everybody, welcome to Project Beauty, where we talk about project panning and everything beauty related. My name is Jen, and we're going to be doing an update for my Zodiac Panner project pan. This was created by Caena, and it runs from March 21st of 2022 to March 20th of 2023. And it says, pick a product for each sign based on sign colors listed and then pan it. So that's the goal, is to either hit pan or pan it completely. You can also do usage goals. A group of girls and I will have everybody listed down below. They are amazing girls. Please go check out their YouTube pages and Instagram pages. I'm a little bit overwhelmed, I'm not gonna lie. I've been sick a lot in March, so I didn't get a lot of progress. And then for April, I've been focusing on strictly purple eyeshadows, which I've been having a lot of fun with, but there's only one purple eyeshadow in this whole thing, so I haven't been touching these a lot. I think I only used the purple one once, so I really don't have very much progress. But today, what I'm going to do is do a palette bingo. So palette bingo, and the reason I do quotes is because, the reason I'm saying quotes is because I'm going to do the palette, which is a bunch of different eyeshadows out of a few different palettes, and I think a single or a, I can't remember. I know I have a pigment as well in a red shade, but I'm going to do my whole makeup as I talk to you guys a little bit about this and as I'm applying it and stuff. So I'm just going to apply the top portion and do my brows and stuff, and then I'll be right back on to start the eyes. So as I'm doing my forehead, I'm just going to give you a little bit of information as well about the project, because it's not just for eyeshadows. You can use really whatever you want as long as it's within those color parameters, packaging, whatever, as long as it says a color in the name or something, like whatever. But the girls and I'm going to give you all of their names and everything in just a second, but we're solely focusing on eyeshadows, and some of them are focusing on more special shades in their collection that are really shimmery, shiny, indie, stuff like that. That's like multi-chrome, really in your face. I'm more focusing on older eyeshadows and things I want to actually get use out of, because I feel like I wouldn't really put them in a project unless I like forced myself to. So I'm kind of forcing myself to. I know that sounds terrible, but I just feel like I have to do this, or I'm like never going to use them, and they're already starting to turn because they're really, really old. So yeah, I'm needing to really like do something about those eyeshadows, and I thought putting them in this project would be absolutely perfect. So the girls that I'm doing this with, first I have to tell you what an incredible, fantastic group of girls. I'm really, really fortunate to have met them like on YouTube and chatting with them and messaging with them. It really is just such a really amazing, supportive, fun group of girls. And so I'll just give you the information. The first one is Val from VMRT. She's on Instagram. The rest of them will be on YouTube, so I will link everything down below as soon as I can. The first one is Kim from Teacher Loves Beauty, Jaylon from J Loves Makeup, Andrea from Pretty as a Peacock, Danny at Danny's Makeup, Deb at Deb B, and Ruth at Ruth Foley. So I will have everything linked down below. I'm sure you all know who they are. They're just amazing. Love them to bits. Super funny. I love it. They keep it real. I love it. They're just really supportive and fun of everyone in the panning community. And I have a lot of fun with them. They're just really great. So please, please go and check them out. I would really appreciate it if you gave them a follow, checked out some of their videos. Really send that love to them, because they send their love to pretty much everyone that they watch. They make sure they try and be supportive of so many people. And I believe all of them are in the Fantastic Ladies group. So go over there and check it out. So as I'm doing this, like, I'm just using as many project pan items that I have right in front of me. I usually try to focus just on my project pan stuff, so all the stuff that I put in to my projects, I know it's stuff I really want to use, or stuff that I need to use because it's like getting a little bit old. I apologize for the state of my hair. I have flyaways like crazy because I just stuck my hair out for work. Work has been insane. I am literally going insane. It's so busy. We just had a huge massive blizzard and got tons and tons of snow and stuff And it just like, we literally almost were done with the snow. It was starting to be greener with little mounds of stuff that needed to melt, and now it's like back to full-on whiteness again. So it's not so much fun, but anyhow, that's okay. So back to the project. Basically, like I said, I'm just doing my forehead. I'm gonna bronze with this hourglass piece of crap. I'm not a fan. Obviously, you can tell I'm not a fan. But I'm just putting a little bit on so I can use some of it. A little bit of the bronzer. Do you guys still carve out, or have you ever carved out underneath your eyebrows? Because I feel like my personal preference is to carve out my eyebrow shape, because I have quite a few hairs in the front and then it's like over tweezed in the outer area, so I have to put quite a bit of pomade, and then I feel like if I don't clean it up, it just looks really messy. And also I have a lot of redness to my eyelids, so I feel like rather than using a what do you call that, like just an eyeshadow that would like cover it with a primer, I use my concealer because I really like how it carves it out. Like you can really see the difference between the redness in my lid. Like a lot of that is staging from my previous eye look, let's be honest, but it definitely helps tame down under the eyebrow, especially because the colors that I put there are super light. So I like it. Do you guys do that? Like, I would love to know if you guys carve out your eyebrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some Urban Decay anti-aging primer on. I hate the doe foot applicator. I really miss the old school one where you just squeezed it out, and like I feel like this end of the tube is so thick now that if I wanted to just cut off the doe foot, it would come out like super thick, like too much, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I'm not really not a fan. Okay. I'm already I can't stop laughing at these. Oh my god, I gotta stop because I'm gonna just cry. I just used one of these from my project, what is it called? 50 Shades of Green Project Pan. And I can barely move underneath my eyes. Like, they're so firm underneath. It's like a sorry. Underneath it's like gelatinous, whatever you want to call it, and you just peel it off. On top it feels like a fuzzy, like it feels like a fuzzy sticker. You know when you were little and you had those fuzzy stickers? I know I'm old, probably millennials didn't even get those things, but for me back in the day, fuzzy stickers were where it is at. It's really hard for like the under part of my eyes. It's very firm and I have to leave these on for 15 minutes. But I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyeshadow. So let's go ahead and pick 5 shades. So what we're doing is, for the palette bingo, you're selecting 5 shades of the shades that you actually put in your project, which I'm so like not ready for this. And then you're allowed to select up to 2 matte shades if you need to like get a crease shade or a deepening outer corner shade kind of thing. You can select 2 matte shades. So let's go ahead and select random number generator. I'm going to go 1 to 12 and we're gonna randomize. So 6, 2, 9, 10, 7, I think that's it. 6, 2, 9, 10, and 7. Okay, so what I selected is, so 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Virgo. So this is the Vice 3 palette and I selected the shade Virgo, or well I guess Virgo, which is the shade Defy, and that's the shade right here. So a nice brown deep shade. I'll do a swatch on the back of my hand. Very patchy and very dry, but hopefully with my primer it'll be okay. Then the next shade I selected was Pale Pink, which is in the Vice 2, which is this one here, and that is the shade called X-Rated, which is a very like a matte satin light dusty pink. You can barely see this on the back of my hand. And the next one is 9, which is Sagittarius, which is purple from my little Huda Beauty palette. And that one is right here. So far we're right here. Then the next one is the shade 10, which is Capricorn, and that is from the Vice 2 palette, and it is called Damaged, which is Vice 2 Damaged. Oh, this is 2. Oh, Damaged, oh my gosh. Damaged is this one right here, this beautiful, beautiful emerald green. Wow, this is gonna be a crazy look, you guys. So that's what we're at so far. And the last one is the shade 7, which is Libra, and that is in the shade Coax, which is this shimmery pink right here. That one looks like this. So this is the colors that I have to work with. That is going to be interesting. I kind of think I might have something, but I think what I'm going to do is go crazy with these colors, and then I'll select, I might even use this shade right here called Habit as my, like, one of my matte shades, and I'm not sure about the second one, so we'll just put these aside and see what I decide to do. Alright, I'm going to start with the light pink shade right here, which is called X-Rated, and I'm going to use that with a fluffy brush on my crease. Now these are incredibly old and very dry, so I hope my primer didn't dry up too much, but I think I'm going to try and take this quite high. I don't think that's too terrible. I'm not hating it. It's really, really light, but you can tell because I'm more of an olive skin tone that it's very pink, but I'm not hating it. I'm really enjoying these masks though, and I definitely want to get a few more sets. It is hard for me to look around. Sorry. I think the next time I do this, I need to put them just a little bit lower. It's not a shadow shield, but at the same time, that's my real problem area, is like right in here. So I wanted to make sure that it was close to my eye, but not too close to my eye, you know. I think next what I want to do is put the green heavily on the outer portion of the eye. So I'm going to go in with, you know what, I need a color switch. So I'm just going to use that. And I'm going to take the green, which is called Damaged. This is going to look crazy to you guys. When I look down, I mean, it feels really weird. So I'm going to put that on the outer portion of the eye. It actually looks very dark. And I'm going to go a little bit higher than my crease with it. And it's quite an older eyeshadow, so it's really flaking off. So these shadow shields are really going to help me. But I'm basically just pressing the product in first because it's very dry and what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's just flaky, I guess. And then I want to press it down where I want it, and then I want to just little tiny motions of a windshield wiper here and there just to blend it out a touch. And I'm going to try and blend it in with the pink shade up above, but like it just, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how that looks after. But right now it's kind of looking funky in the camera, but it doesn't look as bad in person, so we'll see. I think it's just because these eyeshadows are so old. Like, I'm ready to part with, I think, these two, but the colors in there are so good. I wish I played with them a lot more. And you can see how much fallout that I'm getting. It's a lot. So, and I'm tapping my bristles off before I do anything, but like even when I lightly tap in, you can see how much of the product of the pink that I'm getting. And I'm just going to go back over the edge of the green because I want to blend that out just a little bit. into the pink without it looking muddy, because like red and green are on opposite ends of the color wheel, so if you blend them in, it's going to look muddy. And so I don't want to blend it too much where it just looks like a big smear on my face. I want it to actually blend into each other. Like, of course pink is not red, but it's very close. So I sprayed my brush and the shadow with a little bit of Fix Plus, not the actual shadow because it's probably already going moldy. Like, I don't want to add to that, but I sprayed it while it was on my brush and it seemed to deepen it a little bit. I added that to both sides with the sprayed. Like, you can see how much less fallout I got than on this side. I'll really have to clean up underneath my eyes. But so far I don't mind the shade. It's just a little too dark, especially to go with that bright pink color, but we'll make it work. We'll figure it out. Maybe lashes, that might help if I put lashes over top of this. I'm liking that a lot, but I kind of want to make it a little more prominent on the lid. So I'm going to try something and go in with my glitter glue from Too Faced. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that on the outer portion of the eye on either side. It's very, very dry. It's looking okay, but it's really very, very dry. So I'm barely tapping any of that product on, just a little stickiness. And then I'm just going to press the product onto that space. We're done with the green. Let's move on to, let's do the purple. We'll Barney it up. Let's do some purple on the inner portion. I was going to do the purple underneath the eye. Ooh, do I want to do purple underneath and do the shiny pink on the inside? Maybe a little bit of purple on the middle. Let's try that. Because I still need to use the brown. So maybe I'll do the brown underneath. Let's try that. Okay. Where is my brush? So when I touch this shimmery shade and I apply it, it has a little bit, because it's shimmerier, it has a bit of a reflect when the light is shining on it. And it's not very pigmented like I normally enjoy. So I'm going to put a little bit more of my glitter base down. Just want to make sure it's kind of even here. I'm just going to barely touch. I have no doubt in my mind that that Huda eyeshadow is going to be just fine on its own without any extra zhuzh. But I want to make sure that the pink looks decent. And this green is getting everywhere. Pink shade is called Coax, and that's going to go on the inner portion, even though there's green there now, because I'm stupid and I pressed my finger into the green. But I want the shimmery shadow called Coax all over the inner portion of the eye. I definitely should have cleaned that green up a little bit first. Oh well. It really does nothing. Like, it doesn't give me any satisfaction. It just looks just as boring as the crease shade. But it'll look better once I pull the things off, which I should actually do now, because I've had these on for 15 minutes, so you guys can see I'm actually getting used to some stuff, which is great. And it gave me a bit of angle underneath my eye. I feel like that looks all right. It's very, very patchy and definitely not like I normally like my eyeshadow, but it'll all work itself out. So now we're going to use the purple shade from, is that the purple one? Yeah, purple from the Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions, which is this shade right here. It's so beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and get that all over my brush, but I'm not going to do too much. I'm going to wipe some of it off onto a Kleenex, and it'll go right down the center. And I'm probably going to go a little bit more into the other pink shade, because that didn't really do it for me. And then I'm going to go a little bit higher than my crease because, pardon my French, if you have children around you, I'm going to use a word, so cover their ears. But I get resting bitch face quite often, and when I do that, I tend to scowl with my eyes, like I look like this, and I don't mean to look nasty. I look nasty. I look like really rude, and I really truly don't mean to, but I always go a little bit higher than my natural like socket because my skin will start to sag over the socket area. And yeah, I'm just gonna go back into that light pink shade and blend the purple out a bit. But the reason I do that is just so you can still see it even when I'm relaxing. You can kind of see a little bit. In person, it's a lot more than on camera, but maybe it will look different when I'm editing. So I'm going to do the other side of the purple. So you guys know this is the second time I've used this, and that is only the second time I've used any eyeshadow in this project. Everything is a first that you're seeing on me right now this very minute. So unfortunately I haven't done a whole lot with this project. How do I like this now? It's looking a little different. Okay with it because it's looking reasonable. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the top part of my eyes without like doing the brow bone and stuff like that. I'll figure all that out after if I decide to do that. But I'm going to do some of the rest of my face, and then we'll go back to doing the under part of my face. Before I do the rest of my face, I just added a little bit of this Rockstar Urban Decay eyeliner. I have it in my 22 and 2022 project. And I think, like, I just added a little bit of a line on top of my eye to give it a little more dimension. And I think what I'm going to do with the brown right now is press it into that shade. So I'm going to take the shade Defy, which is the brown shade that I have in the project, which is dusty, crusty, and old. So old and gross. I really need to get rid of these, honestly. But I'm just going to press it into that eyeshadow. So it just gives me a little bit more definition, and you can really see, like, I'll go in closer later, but you can really see how really old and dusty these eyeshadows really are. They're just very like sheer and flaky. So I'm gonna finish up the rest of my face and then we'll finish the lower part. So boy, did I come back looking different, huh? I have a full face on now. Everything that I use in my projects is everything that I use on my face, with the exception of a sample that I used for my primer, which is the Bobbi Brown Primer Plus Radiance, and it looks like this. I am enjoying this. It reminds me though a lot of the Magnet from Magnet Primer. It's this one too. I have it in the mini size, but I also got this as a sample. But it reminds me of the Secure the Blur Magnet Primer from one size. And also a little bit of the Natural Radiance Primer from MAC, but it's a little thicker. But I'm enjoying it. So everything else is from projects, and I put a lot of it on. So we're gonna do the under eyes now, and I think I want to keep it a little more simple. For the eyes, I just put on mascara, and I am using the Monsieur Big, is it just called Monsieur Big from Lancome? Monsieur. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's all it's called. It's just a sample that I got, and I like the way that it looks. It lengthens, it thickens. I think it looks nice, but it flakes like crazy. Like, it goes all over underneath my eyes a lot. And I'm not an eye toucher. I'm somewhat of a face toucher, but I'm not an eye toucher, so I don't know why I'm getting that much flaking. Anyhow, so I think for the bottom, I'm going to start with a little bit of the brown in the outer corner. And that one is the shade Defy that we just used to do the lash line thingamajiggy. And I know it's going to be very, very powdery, so I'm just going to use a little. Like the smallest amount. Then I'm going to go into the green, and it is the shade Damaged. And I'm just going to press that on the lower lash. Super fast. And super simple. I'm not doing anything more. I was going to press some of the pink in, but I think I'm going to leave it as is. I'm liking how it is. This is everything. I haven't really used a whole lot. You guys can see I've only used everything like once or maybe twice. So just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This is very long already, but I really appreciate it. Please don't forget to check out the girls link down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.